caught my best friend and fiancé together at her wedding. I never thought I'd be the type of person to say this, but I found out my sister slept with my fiancé 6 weeks before our wedding. Let me start from the beginning. My name's Rachel. I'm 29 and I used to be close with my younger sister, Chloe. She's 26, beautiful in that effortless Instagram model way, and has always been the one who gets away with everything. Our parents doted on her like she was made of glass. Meanwhile, I was the responsible one, the fixer, the one who handled things, including her messes. Chloe and I weren't best friends growing up, but we weren't enemies either. We drifted more after college, different jobs, different circles, but we still had the usual family birthdays and holidays, smiling photos and catch-up texts. Then came Noah. Noah and I met through work. He was charming, smart, always knew what to say. We dated for 2 years before he proposed during a weekend getaway in Vermont. It was picture perfect. I said yes through happy tears, and for the first time in years, I felt like everything in my life was finally moving in the right direction. Chloe congratulated us like any supportive sister would. She squealed, hugged me, even offered to help plan the wedding. She volunteered to throw the bridal shower, pick out decorations, handle the fun stuff. I should have known something was off. It started with little things. She'd text him wedding questions late at night. He brushed it off. Just logistics. She'd linger when he was around. I once caught her wearing lipstick. I'd never seen her use bold red, the same shade that smudged one of Noah's water glasses at dinner. But again, I ignored it. Because who suspects their own sister? The truth came crashing down on a random Thursday afternoon. I was home early from work, nursing a headache and craving silence. Noah's phone was buzzing on the kitchen counter. It was face up. I shouldn't have looked, but something made me pause. The screen read, "Chloe, last night was incredible. Can't stop thinking about you." My stomach dropped. For a split second, I thought it was some cruel prank, a joke. But when I opened the thread, I felt the blood drain from my face. They'd been seeing each other for months. Messages about sneaking around, about how exciting it was, how they had to keep up the act until the wedding, how I didn't have a clue. There were photos, too. Disgusting, intimate ones. Her in his shirt, him in her bed. It was all there. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I took screenshots. Hundreds. Then I placed his phone exactly where it had been and sat in our living room for 4 hours, staring at nothing. When Noah came home, I handed him a glass of water. Smiled. He didn't even notice anything was off. For the next 2 weeks, I played dumb. I needed time to plan, because if there's one thing about me, I don't get even. I get ahead. My revenge started with Chloe's wedding. She was engaged to. Her fiancé, Tyler, was sweet, quiet, maybe a little boring, but he adored her. They were set to be married in 6 months. So I did something I never imagined I would. I became Chloe's new best friend. I offered to help with her wedding, asked about venues, gushed over her dress, told her how happy I was she'd finally found someone. She ate it up. Then I made sure I was involved in every part of the planning. Bridesmaids group chats, vendor meetings, family dinners. I collected details like currency, the guest list, the order of speeches, the name of the officiant. All the while, I was preparing something special for her big day. I broke up with Noah 3 weeks before our wedding. Told him I wasn't ready. He cried. I laughed the second he left. He had no idea I knew. Neither did Chloe. But soon they would. After breaking things off with Noah, I disappeared for a while. Or at least that's how it looked to them. I declined family dinners, dodged group chats, blamed needing time to process the breakup. Everyone assumed I was heartbroken, and honestly, it helped my cup. Even Chloe left me alone, probably thinking her little betrayal would blow over if I just had time to move on. What they didn't know was that I was working with a timeline. I had 5 months until Chloe's wedding. 5 months to turn her perfect little day into a flaming car wreck. And I wasn't going to let emotions cloud that. I went full executive mode, planning, organizing, strategizing. I even went as far as getting coffee with Chloe one afternoon just to keep the act alive. She looked radiant, of course. She always does. I was worried about you, she said, feigning concern. You kind of disappeared. Yeah, just needed to reset, I said with a smile. Honestly, I'm doing great. I've been journaling, working out again, the usual heartbreak stuff. Chloe patted my hand like I was a wounded animal. I'm just glad you're okay. I wanted to crush her fingers. Instead, I said, by the way, if you still need help with wedding stuff, I'd love to chip in. And just like that, I was back in. We met vendors together. I tagged along for a cake tasting, helped her pick napkin colors, even helped finalize her seating chart. She thought I was being supportive. She had no idea I was building a blueprint. At the same time, I started messaging Tyler, her fiancé. Just little things at first, questions about planning logistics, updates from Chloe, friendly check-ins. He was polite, but stiff. I could tell he wasn't used to female attention outside of Chloe. I didn't push anything. I didn't need to. I just needed to be in his orbit. Then one night, about 6 weeks before the wedding, I got what I needed. Chloe and I had met for dinner. She left her phone on the table while she went to the bathroom. Her screen lit up with a new message from Noah. I couldn't see the full text, but I didn't need to. She was still seeing him. That's when I knew what to do. I printed the screenshots I'd saved from Noah's phone, including the more graphic ones, and tucked them inside an envelope. No note, no explanation, just cold, hard proof. I waited until the rehearsal dinner when everyone was mingling and drinking and buzzing with excitement. The envelope went into Tyler's suit jacket pocket while he wasn't looking. And then I waited. He found it later that night. Called me just after midnight. "Is this real?" he asked, voice trembling. I could hear him pacing, papers shuffling. I imagined him flipping through the images with shaking hands. "Yes," I said. "I didn't know how else to tell you." Silence. "Why didn't you say anything before?" "Because I didn't have proof until recently," I lied. "And I didn't want to believe it either." Another long pause. Then he whispered, "What do I do?" That's when I laid out the plan. Chloe's wedding was set at a vineyard just outside Napa. Gorgeous venue. Open air, string lights, sunset view, the whole Pinterest fantasy. The day of the wedding, I showed up early, dressed in a soft lilac bridesmaid dress, hair done, makeup glowing. No one suspected a thing. Chloe was in full bridal mode, laughing, fluttering, high on attention. She didn't even notice Tyler was quieter than usual. I watched her giggle with her friends, pose for pictures, fix her veil. She looked like she was walking on clouds. And I was about to drop her. The ceremony was scheduled for 5 p.m. At 4:58, the music started. Guests rose. Chloe stood behind the doors holding her bouquet, beaming. Then everything stopped. Tyler stepped out onto the altar, tapped the microphone, and cleared his throat. "I know we're all here for a wedding," he said, "but there's something I need to say before we begin." The room went still. He reached into his pocket and pulled out the photos. "I recently found out my bride has been sleeping with someone else. My cousin's fiancé, actually." Gasps. Murmurs. Someone dropped a champagne flute? Chloe's smile faltered. She took a step forward. "Tyler, what are you?" "Don't." He cut her off. "I know everything. The texts. The photos. I've seen it all." He turned to the guests. "I won't be marrying her today, but thank you all for coming." He walked off the stage. Chaos erupted. Chloe was frozen, face pale, mouth opening and closing like a fish out of water. I stepped up beside her, gently took the bouquet from her hands and whispered, "You deserve each other." And then I walked away. The moment I stepped out of that vineyard hall, the air felt different, lighter, like I just unloaded a decade's worth of rage. Behind me, I heard shouting, Chloe's voice cracking as she begged Tyler to listen, his family yelling, her bridesmaids scattering, chairs scraping, heels clacking, someone sobbing uncontrollably. I didn't turn around. I got in my car, peeled off the sticky false lashes, and drove straight back to my apartment. Just silence and the sound of the wind through the open windows. I didn't cry. I didn't smile. I just let it all sink in. The next day, everything exploded. First came the group chat meltdown. I was in a bridal party group thread with the other bridesmaids. My phone lit up like a Vegas sign, texts flying in faster than I could read. "WF happened yesterday. Is it true? You knew. Chloe's having a breakdown. She said you set her up." Then came the DMs. Noah messaged me. "Are you happy now? She's ruined. And I'm the villain." I replied, "Sounds accurate." He blocked me. Then Chloe finally called. I let it ring 4 times before answering. "You smug thing, Beach," she spat as soon as I picked up. "You think this is justice? You think you're some avenging angel or something? I think you deserve to deal with the consequences of your choices," I said calmly. She laughed bitterly. "You're unbelievable. You sabotaged my wedding. I didn't cheat on your fiancé. That was all you." Her voice cracked. "You humiliated me in front of everyone I know, and you didn't think screwing my fiancé behind my back was humiliating." Silence. Then she whispered, almost to herself, "I should have just cut you off." "You tried," I said. "You just didn't finish the job." I hung up. That was the last time we spoke. Over the next few weeks, the aftermath trickled in. Tyler moved out of their shared apartment. Rumor had it he was staying with his older brother until he figured things out. His family backed him fully. Apparently, they'd never liked Chloe much, but tolerated her because she made him happy. Chloe's parents were mortified. She'd always been their golden child, successful, social, polished. Now, she was the daughter who got publicly dumped at the altar for cheating with her sister's ex-boy. And yeah, people found out about me and Noah. Whether Chloe told them or the photos got passed around, I don't know. But the story went viral in our social circle. Some people took Chloe's side, said I was calculated, vindictive, obsessed with revenge. Others said she had it coming, that I did what they wished they could have done in their own situations. One of her bridesmaids, Tara, even messaged me weeks later. I just wanted to say I didn't get it at first, but now I totally do. That girl is toxic. Hope you're doing okay. I didn't reply. I wasn't looking for approval. I didn't need a round of applause. I just wanted peace. And slowly, it started to come. One night, about a month later, I ran into Tyler. I was grabbing groceries, laid hood up. No makeup, earbuds in. I turned a corner and there he was, holding a basket and looking at a wall of cereal. We locked eyes. He gave a hesitant smile. Hey, I said, awkwardly pulling out one earbud. Didn't expect to see you. Same. We stood there for a moment in silence. Then he asked, you doing okay? I nodded. Yeah. You? He sighed. Getting there. Still picking up the pieces. Sorry it went down the way it did, I said, even though I wasn't. He gave a sad smile. Don't be. You did me a favor. I looked at him really. He seemed older somehow. Wiser. Less clean-cut, more weathered. Like he'd survived something. Glad to hear that, I said. We didn't say much after that. Just a casual goodbye. No spark. No lingering glances. Just two people who survived the same storm and made it out alive. 3 months later, Chloe's wedding was a fading memory, or rather, a legend. People still whispered about it at parties, joked about pulling a Chloe, or asked, was it the wedding where the maid of honor nuked the bride with screenshots? Yes, it was. I moved out of my old apartment, got a new place across town, and started fresh. New job, new gym, new people. I wanted to shed the skin of who I'd been, not out of shame, but survival. The whole ordeal left me raw and exhausted. It's one thing to fantasize about revenge. It's another to live it. And in the aftermath, I realized something. Revenge doesn't feel like triumph. It feels like collapse. Like you're finally letting go of the boulder you've been dragging. But in the process, you have to admit you carried it for far too long. Still, I had no regrets. Chloe made her choices. I made mine. One night, I got a call from a number I didn't recognize. I almost let it go to voicemail, but some instinct made me answer. Hello? A long pause. Then, it's Noah. My spine stiffened. Why are you calling me? I don't know, he said. I guess. I just wanted to say I'm sorry. I nearly laughed. You're 3 years too late. I know, he said quickly. I know that. But I've been thinking about it, about everything. You didn't deserve what we did to you. Neither did Tyler. He exhaled. No, he didn't. There was silence again, heavy and awkward. He added, I didn't even know she was engaged at first. Not until months in. You kept going anyway. I was weak. I shook my head, even though he couldn't see it. You were selfish. There's a difference. He didn't argue. I'm not calling to make excuses, he said. I keep thinking about you, about who I was, about what I ruined. That's not my problem anymore. I know. More silence. Then he whispered, do you hate me? I paused, then said honestly, no, I don't think about you enough to hate you. He inhaled like I'd stabbed him. Okay, I guess I deserve that. Yeah, he cleared his throat. I hope you're doing better. I am. Good. And with that, I hung up. That was the last thread tied up. Noah regretful and hollow. Chloe still social media silent. Tyler thriving from what little I could see online. New job, new friends, dating again maybe. And me? I started writing again. Nothing big, just journaling, some anonymous posts online. It helped. I wrote a post once that got traction. Revenge isn't about hurting them. It's about unshackling yourself, about making peace with the fact that some people will never apologize, and that closure isn't given, it's claimed. People messaged me about it. Some said it felt like therapy. Others shared their own stories. I never told anyone the full version of mine. Not like this, not with names. But now I think I'm ready to let it go. If you're reading this and you've been betrayed, I see you. And if you're debating revenge, just know, it won't fix everything. But sometimes it's the only way to walk away clean. Final update. 1 year later, it's been a full year since Chloe's wedding. Or should I say the implosion of her wedding. A lot has changed. Some things haven't. People still DM me asking if that story was real. Yes. If I regret it. No. If it was worth it. That one's complicated. Let me start with Chloe. After the disaster, she went fully dark online for months. Her Instagram vanished, her TikTok wiped. I heard from a mutual friend that her family blamed stress for the wedding catastrophe and told people I had a mental breakdown. Classic. But by Christmas, she reemerged, rebranded. She started a healing journey account, wellness posts, toxicity detox quotes. She dyed her hair brunette and did one of those "my trauma made me stronger" reels. I almost choked on my drink. She never acknowledged what happened, not once, but someone did. Tyler. He messaged me a few months ago, just a short DM on Instagram. Tyler, I finally left her. I should have believed you. I didn't know how to respond. So I didn't. He didn't press. A week later, I saw had deleted every photo of Chloe, then posted a blurry beach shot captioned, "Healing in progress." He deserved peace. I hope he finds it. As for Noah, that call was the last I heard from him. He tried to follow me on Instagram. I declined. We're done. And me? I got promoted. I lead a team now. I'm in therapy. I started dating again, slowly, cautiously. But most of all, I'm writing. A lot. In fact, this whole story, it's going into a book. Or maybe a podcast, something real. Because if there's one thing I've learned through all of this, it's that people are starving for truth, the raw, uncomfortable kind. We've all been lied to, betrayed, ghosted, used. But most of us don't get closure. This was mine, and now I can give that to someone else. If you've read this far, thank you. I was the girl who found out her best friend was cheating with her fiancé. I was the maid of honor who burned the house down. And now, I'm free.
Subscribe for more videos.